Paradise 911, what is your emergency?
I see a fire across the Feather River.
There is a fire in
Yes.
Paradise. We need to know where that fire is, so we need to leave.
Really weird. Do I need to worry?
Yes, you need to evacuate. We need
got it.
mandatory evacuation for all of Paradise.
As we drove down the street, we moved in inches. It was like the nightmare from hell.
The Camp Fire is the biggest wildfire in California history, and we had thought the Carr Fire was like the end of the world.
It was a tunnel of flame. The things were blowing up, propane tanks were blowing up, and it sounded like an artillery barrage. Utter chaos.
With chunks of the trees falling on all the cars.
We could just burn up right here in the car.
I thought to myself, I wonder how many people are going to die today. I hope I'm not one.
We lost our home. We lost good people.
Our goal was, how can we get emergency relief into the hands of these survivors as quickly as possible?
People just needed that initial help and that initial sense of hope to get them started.
Volunteering with the Camp Fire, we saw literally hundreds of people every single day who'd lost everything.
I can only imagine what it's like for the people who lost everything.
When you lose everything and you realize you don't even have a cup or a spoon, nothing.
I lost my bed, I lost my dresser.
We needed bedding and silverware and pillows and towels, and I mean, literally we had nothing for our home. Everything was gone.
One of the key things we were able to do was to provide emergency cash assistance to the families and individuals who lost their home in the fire.
I didn't realize the impact until you were actually there at the Location Assistance Center, and when there was hundreds and thousands of people impacted, and for them to come to United Way and for us to be able to help them with some emergency funds, we're a great team together to make a difference in our communities.
211 was on the front line handling those emergency calls from the people who were displaced, and United Way was one of the first agencies here to respond.
IBM has been in California for over 100 years, so when the Camp Fire broke out last November, we knew that we needed to step up and do more. It wasn't just about a financial donation, it was about engaging our employees, giving them volunteer time off, and we were looking for a partner. And immediately it came clear to us that United Way of Northern California was the organization.
One of the great things we were able to do right away was to put on a Target shopping event for students that were impacted in the fire to be able to get some back to school shopping items and things that they maybe lost in the fire.
37% of the households in that county prior to the fire were struggling to make ends meet.
United Way was very understanding, and they just listened, and they didn't judge in any way, and they didn't make you feel uncomfortable for asking for help.
We came in the door and there was United Way, just standing there ready to help.
Not only to provide physical support, but also spiritual and emotional support. To be on the receiving end of something like this is really humbling.
We have strength together, we work together, we're going to rebuild Paradise together. No one can do it alone.
It's so important in a disaster to be able to understand the needs of the people, and for us, United Way has been just that.
So just because it isn't in the news like it has been, financially, volunteer-wise, we need help.
As donors heard about the disaster, they felt not only compelled to help, but they trusted us, and we felt that was very important.
Wells Fargo as a foundation cannot help individuals directly. United Way helps facilitate the disaster relief so that it gets into the right hands. It gets to those individuals and those families that really need it most.
What United Way stands for is the ability to bring people together. That United means something to us. The Camp Fire situation is a long-term situation. We're in it for the long run. And yes, we continue to need financial resources. So please find it in your heart, as so many people have, to support this work.
We live united.
We live united.
We live united.